Singapore's Information, Communications and the Arts Minister, Yaacob Ibrahim, has said that the country's traditional media should not lose sight of its key strengths, even as the industry adapts to the online playing field. He made the point at a talk held by the Singapore Press Club today. S. Ramesh with this report.
Singapore's public sector has beefed up its online presence with more than 140 Facebook pages, YouTube and Twitter channels, as well as mobile applications. The latest to join the online platform, Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, with his own Facebook page.
My sense is that it will evolve over time, but we cannot ignore the online media altogether, and how do we engage it?
Dr. Yaacob noted that Singapore's traditional media has a role to preserve social cohesion and empower audiences to make informed decisions. And this approach, he said, should extend online.
Our major companies, which have established presence, can set the right tone online, as well as with good practices of information sharing and moderation on the various online platforms. We can encourage information and viewpoints that inform and evaluate, and not disturb and divide.
Dr. Yaacob also adds that there's been a lot of discussion in the media and online platforms as to whether the government should come up and implement some form of internet code of conduct. The minister says he still believes that it is the larger internet community and not the government that should come to some form of understanding as to what online behavior is acceptable and what is not. And that's where he said a light touch and a bottoms-up approach will work. Also being looked at, laws governing the misuse of cyberspace.
But there are cases of cyber stalking, cyber harassment, cyber abuse, that really there's a bit of a gap there. And we're looking at how we can enact some legislation that will allow, as you rightly pointed out, reprieve for some of these people who have been abused.
On the recent announcement by the Malaysian government that Singapore newspapers could possibly make its way across the causeway, Dr. Yaacob said Singapore is looking at the situation carefully and will review its laws accordingly.
And staying on the topic of online platforms, Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has said that he sent some of the feedback he received via his Facebook page to the various ministries to consider. In his latest status update, Mr. Lee said he takes netizens' views very seriously. He noted that comments by online users cover many issues of public concern, such as public transport, housing and cost of living. Mr. Lee said these are complex, long-term problems and that the government is working hard on them. He asked for patience and support to deal with them together as one nation. And on a lighter note, Mr. Lee said a few people have been asking him what he has for dinner. In response, he revealed it's usually something simple: rice, a couple of dishes, soup and lots of fruit. Since the launch of his Facebook account on Friday, the Prime Minister has garnered over 35,000 likes on his page. A shift manager with restaurant chain Pastamania has been sentenced to 1 week's jail and fined $3,000 for pocketing $1,650 from the restaurant's cash tills. 33-year-old Noor Fazilan Ahmad Rosman had worked at Pastamania's West Coast Plaza branch. The court heard that he would receive cash payments from customers for small value orders and then remove the orders, or simply did not reflect the payments in the restaurant's computer system. In mitigation, Noor Fazilan said he had taken the money to support his family. He has also made partial restitution of $1,200 to the restaurant. 3 men who were charged last Monday with having paid sex with an underage girl were back in court today to fix a date for a discovery conference. The men will return to court on the 11th of June, where both the defense and prosecutors are expected to present their cases. The men were among the first batch of 44 men charged with having commercial sex with an underage girl. 29-year-old Ko Ziyang is believed to have paid some $600 for the girl's sexual services at Strand Hotel at Bencoolen Street in December 2010. 21-year-old Kelvin Pek Yong Lee allegedly paid the girl $450 for sex at Hotel 81 at Bencoolen Street in October 2010, while 31-year-old P. Kiao Han faces 2 charges of paying the girl $650 on separate occasions at Strand Hotel between December 2010 and January 2011. A teacher has pleaded guilty to abusing her Indonesian maid by caning her. 54-year-old Lee Meng Chu had told her maid, Sri Mariati, that she had to agree to punishments when she made mistakes if she wanted to keep her job. Investigations revealed that Lee caned 24-year-old Sri for using a toothbrush to clean a basin. Lee also caned Sri on her lower back and buttocks after discovering the maid did not check on her son's homework. Sri was again punished after she did not set the alarm clock to the instructed time. Lee's abuse also included pulling Sri's ear so violently till it bled. Lee will be sentenced next month. An underground gas pipe has leaked at the junction of Sakra Road and Jurong Island Highway. This affected the gas supply at Power Seraya and some 7 other companies with facilities at Jurong Island. Power Gas said the problem could have been caused by a third-party contractor. It's working to restore the gas supply as soon as possible. The Singapore Civil Defence Force said it received a call about the incident at about 12:20 this afternoon. 3 fire engines and a support vehicle were deployed. There was no sign of fire nor any reported injuries. Well, SCDF officers used detectors to pick up traces of vapour around the area. As a precautionary measure, 8 large water jets were also set up to suppress vapour build-up. SCDF said by 7:40 p.m. no further traces of vapour were detected. SCDF has since withdrawn its resources from the affected area and handed the management of the incident site back to JTC. And coming up after the break, inflation rises at a faster than expected rate on high transport and accommodation costs, but that's not the biggest worry. Find out what economists fear more than the cost of cars after the break.